So I was asked for a wish list, good or bad ideas for spectator features or hub features for Unreal Tournament. And this is some ideas that I came up with, which is the tournament hub system. So you'd pick it just like a deathmatch game or a duel game before you start, your hub game essentially. So how it would work is it works a little bit differently to your normal instances of setting up a game. So you could actually set a date. So you don't have to play it on that day. You could set it for a week's time or a month's time. And this will give it enough notice that people will be able to sign up and get ready to play in this big tournament, whether you want to give away prizes, which in this case I've written down as a rare skin, or there could be an entry fee where you have to put in a common skin, etc., to actually get into the tournament. And whoever wins gets a really big skin at the end. That kind of cool stuff. But essentially the date system enables players to go visit a hub and see that there's an up and coming tournament that they can sign up to and play against people, which is something we haven't really seen in a FPS deathmatch game whatsoever. It'd be a really cool feature to have, and people won't miss a beat, as of course the people that are regularly playing, and they won't have to go to third party software or websites, etc., to sign up to these tournaments. And this is what it would look like in the tournament hub. Of course, you just join your favorite hub, which is Epic Games European Public Hub 1 at the moment. It's just one I did because it was empty, and then I could Photoshop this in. So basically, tournament hub, 4 players max, so 4 players can sign up to this tournament, and there's the start date, and all you got to do is click to register, and then when the date gets closer, it will give you a little pop-up saying, oh, your tournament's going to start in 20 minutes, make sure that you're in this lobby. So you go back to here, into the server, double click it, etc., and you're ready to go. And this is what it would look like once you are ready to go, of course. So here we have the map list. So Shoutcaster or admin would set this beforehand, putting down 5 maps, etc., which people would then pick and ban, which I'll get into a little bit later. But you essentially can set the series of how you want the tournament to run. So best of 3 single elim, best of 5 single elim, best of 1 double elim, or group stage best of 1. So you can set it in multiple different times, and the bracket will change, as you'll see in a minute. If we move on to the next slide, and the next one is just seeds. So if you wanted to seed players, you could, just to make it a little bit fairer in the tournament system if it's a more high-end sort of tournament. If not, you can just go random and start it straight away. But what is important is that the caster will always have to ready up, or the admin will always have to ready up as well. If there is an admin, if not, we could maybe develop an automated system where it just goes and all the players do all their thing. But the idea is if it was like a professional tournament, the caster would be the last person to ready up. So he could watch every moment, essentially, of the game happening, because a lot of the times players just go ahead and start a game. So let's see what the next slide is, because I've already forgotten what I've planned here. So this is the banning and picking stage. So once you launch the server, as you can see, the players have been split up into their own groups, and then they do the picking and banning stage. So what they do is they just ban 2 maps, and whatever map is remaining are the maps that they're going to be playing in this best of 3 series. Okay, so while the players are doing their picking and banning stage, the Shoutcaster will get essentially kind of the same screen, but he'll be able to see it from all different games. All the games that are currently going on, he'll be able to see the picking and banning stage. And from there, he will be able to click a game that he wants to follow, and then obviously we'll join the spectators functions at that particular point. So we'll get into this kind of screen, and then the Shoutcasters can then talk about, oh, why is he picking and banning this map? Why do you think he's doing that choice? That kind of goodness. Then we move on from this, and we're going to talk about the bracket. So once the game actually goes live, it will look something like this. And this is the spectator's point of view, or the Shoutcaster's point of view, I should say, where we have the bracket up on one side on the preview screen, and the live screen of the current game that we are watching. So these current orange players here, or the highlighted orange bracket here, is the game that we are currently watching and is currently live. Now, if we go back to a full screen version of this bracket, we can see that it's actually real time. So it will be telling you the map, how much time is left in that game, what the current score is, and also who won the previous map and who is currently winning in the series that's going on. And once the games progress, of course, you'd still get updated with this information as the tournament goes on throughout the bracket until we have a winner. But also you'd be able to easily on the fly switch out logos or whatever that you needed to, beforehand, so you could actually just go into your tournament hub settings and switch out your logos and set that up beforehand, which would be really useful. And you just simply drag and drop that in. Nothing too complicated, because everything seems complicated in gaming at the moment, and that would be just nice that it was just file browser, add the file that you wanted to do at the right resolution. And so we get to this. So what this bracket enables us to do is see what is happening in all the different games that are happening, whether it be 16-player tournament, 8-player tournament, but we will be able to switch between these brackets simultaneously. So if game one here decided to pause or break, or it was coming to a natural conclusion, we could see what was happening on the last 2 minutes or whatever in this game by simply just clicking on the other side of the bracket or pressing a hotkey and being able to switch on the fly and watch what's happening elsewhere. And it just gives people, you know, a smoother sort of casting experience, and that if there were problems, we're not going to go to a commercial break and ruin the experience and disappear for half an hour. We can keep some form of action going along, and it just be really easy and fast-paced to keep the tournament running throughout, which is very usually quite difficult when you're doing it in third-party resources or outside the actual game. So this would be also tied into the multi-view spectator function. So we can set that bracket screen live here, as you can see here. So we can show the audience at home how the bracket's looking, where it's going to go, who we think is going to triumph, whatever. And then we can also, in that game that we are currently highlighted, you'll notice that in the multi-view spectator feature, we can see all the camera angles that we'd like to switch to, first-person modes, and also bringing up the statistics as well, which I've mentioned in one of my other videos. If you click on the annotation here, it will take you to it. Just some other wish list ideas that I had in the past. But that's the general idea of the Tournament Hub system and how it would sort of work with a spectator mode as well. Let me know your ideas, your thoughts as well. Add your own little inputs as well, because all these ideas would be amazing. So thanks anyway.